I recently acquired another Steyr long rifle to my collection of M95 Steyrs. This here is a little bit different. This gun it's in a little worse condition than usual, but it's kind of unique in that it's the Steyr long rifle and it does not have the S conversion. We can get in here, maybe zoom in on this. And it's a Steyr 95, and if you notice, the finish is pretty non-existent on the receiver, and the outside of it has some light pitting. The barrel bands, are got a coating of rust more than blue. Same with that. And this one here, which is real scary. I'll zoom in. There's some pretty nasty dings and marks there on that end of the barrel. So something evil happened to this gun at one time. It got crap beat out of it. And the finish there is, again, that rust patina. And the upper handguard is quite worn and cracked in several places. So this is basically a gun that's seen combat and was used. These are military guns, and some of them have been in war. But if you notice, the stock itself is in fairly good shape. And it's not dinged up or nothing, so it's kind of suspicious. The wood's pretty good, not cracked or weathered. So I'm saying that this had the stock replaced at one time. What makes this gun different than the others is the serial number has an X after it on there. You see on the serial number there's an X, and the serial number on the receiver and the barrel are the same. And up here, it's hard to tell. There isn't the standard, like up in here where the S is on this portion of the barrel. There isn't that acceptance mark. At least I can't see it. I don't know if the rust in it has pitted it off. And what that kind of tells me, and then also on this one, there's a serial number on the bolt, which the Austrians never put a serial number on the bolt handle. Let's see. Right up in there, there's a serial number on the bolt handle. That kind of tells you that this gun was assembled from parts after World War I in Czechoslovakia. I have some Czech guns that that's how they are configured. The bolt handle is serial numbered on the knob, and they have the different little, I don't know if that really matters, the X's or A's or Y's. That does mean something, but exactly what, I don't know. I'll have to do more research on it. And like I said, it doesn't have the little acceptance stamp that the Austrian Army always put on the top of the barrel. And a lot of times when they do the S conversion, that S stamp will obliterate that. The one stamping on this gun that is interesting, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but here on the barrel, about right there, there's like a little eagle, Polish eagle like, and also on the stock right down there, there's also that acceptance stamp mark, which I believe, I'm not quite certain, but I believe these are Polish markings. There's one here on the stock, and there's another one up here on the barrel, the same similar little eagle-like, which is reminiscent of the symbol of the Polish national government, Polish eagle or falcon. I'm not quite sure what it is. So this gun came with a broken extractor, and it's a little unusual. It's kind of more of an unusual gun, and that's why I bought it. I didn't really pay a lot for it. I got it on an online auction, and the dealer was a pretty reputable fellow that deals in antique guns, and he explained the condition. The bore's worn and pitted and that, like most of the guns. I don't let that bother me because I've been experimenting with using bullets to match the groove diameters, and I found even when the bores are a little on the rough side, I can still get some decent accuracy out of them. Yeah, and anyway, the dealer, you know, he knew the gun had problems. He listed it in the listing. I got the gun at a very reasonable price. I didn't pay the full shot. I got it, you know, a lot less than what these long rifles are going for. They go for around $300 to $350. I paid way less than $200 for this. I had to get an extractor, which was kind of a difficult thing to do. They're short on parts. I guess a lot of these guns had broken extractors, and anybody that scrapped out rifles or carbines have sold out all the extractors. So I found an extractor and got it in there. And this is still in the original caliber 8x50, 8mm by 50mm, the original caliber of the gun. It doesn't have the S conversion, which is the 8x56. So ammunition's kind of hard to get, but I had a few rounds loaded up that I was using in another gun, similar to this, which was another, you know, war gun, still in the same caliber, a little on the rugged side. And the dealer also sent a note that because of the condition of the gun, if I wasn't satisfied, I could send the gun back after examining it. You know, he made sure to actually put a note in there. I think he has a standard period. Most reputable dealers will give you a 3-day examination period to send the gun back. No questions asked, as long as you don't shoot it or disassemble it. Generally, I think it's the rules for most of the online auctions. I opted to keep it because I can either keep it as a parts gun or something. So I took it out and shot it, and I ran into problems immediately. I had the footage or the clippings, video clips of the shooting part of it. And again, I was at the range, so it's just me loading the gun and firing it. I think there's problems with the chamber or something, or this gun had something, there's something wrong with it, because the brass, as I was looking there, the brass would get hung up and the gun wouldn't, you couldn't eject the cartridge. And I had one or two of them, as you see when I'm shooting, get hung up, and I got 5 rounds and 1 clip off, and I got a couple rounds off. But then this one, the last, you know, be the 7th one I shot, you could see there's a bulge right here, and the brass is shiny and rough, or, you know, you can see it's actually like a, you know, you can feel it like a little lip where it got hung up. There's a roughness here to it, and it looks, when you look at it, it's bulged towards the back. So it could either be a headspace problem, or it could be something wrong with the chamber or the gun. I did get 7 rounds off, and I'll show you me shooting the 7 rounds, which kind of I shouldn't have done, but I wanted to check it out. I felt confident these are strong guns that won't blow up. And you'll see the first shot, I ain't got my face down there close to the gun when I shoot it off. And I got 7 rounds out of it, and there's a problem with the chamber. So what I'm going to do is, I do have a gun in this caliber that has a mint bore and good, I know it's a good chamber. So I'm going to take Creosafe and do a chamber casting of the good gun and a chamber casting of this gun. And the Creosafe is material, it's a lead-like material that you can actually use micrometers and measure. What it does is you pour it in molten, like molten lead, it goes into the chamber, and then when it cools, it'll shrink a little bit, and you can push the plug out. And then you can use micrometers and take precision measurements, I think, for 24 hours. And after it cools or hardens 24 hours, it'll expand 2 thousandths over what the diameter is. So once you have this chamber casting made, you can calculate and take measurements of the chamber, and also what I'm going to do is look for any damage or any peculiar stuff there that doesn't fit in. It's causing this, you know, these bulges and that. Anyway, but I took a few shots with it, and I'll show you a target here. quick one, there we go.
I don't see that one. Oh, I know. It's high right center. So your trigger pull. Your trigger pull is pulling you to the right. Or I'm not right. Or you want it done right. Probably it's the trigger pull. That's good.
Alright, I'm gonna try to put one in the top, on the top right.
Yeah, you want to mess with that. It's not full.
Use this, take that off.
Hold up, hey. I got it. Okay, what's that? That's pretty good for that spot.
It's a little flush coming through.
Alright, I'm gonna go to top right.
The only one I got on the paper at 100 yards, I got one up here, and I don't really notice because when I was having the trouble getting it to eject, I started getting flustered. The range was crowded. I got kind of nervous. So I was aiming low, like with the other long rifle at 100 yards, aiming below the backstop, and it might have been where this came from. They all might have been shooting high. Because generally these rifles are sighted in at like 400 yards or something, and at 100 yards you shoot about a foot, 2 foot high. So So then we'll go to where I shoot it, and I'll give you the shooting end of it on this one, but there's going to be some work on it, and I'll probably do a video on doing the chamber castings, because it'd be a good opportunity, and go over that and what you do when you run into a gun with problems like this. So there'll be some other videos following up with this. And probably this might just be a parts gun that I hang on the wall. It's kind of interesting, it's a little different, but like I said, I didn't pay the full retail price on it. You know, I bought it understanding it wasn't perfect, and didn't pay an exorbitant amount of money. You know, even if I parted the gun out, I'll get my money back from selling the individual parts that are still good on this. So it's just, sometimes you get a good one, sometimes you get one that, that there may be something wrong with this. This gun won't be able to be shot, safely or without problems.